90% of AI in healthcare surrounds automation or augmentation of diagnostics or therapeutics, right? So it really wants to address the problem, hey, how can I replace my specialist? Or how can I make my specialist better? But 80% of healthcare actually happens outside the specialist's office, right? The caregivers, be them certified caregivers or family caregivers, they take up probably more than 60% of the medical GDP, like the amount of time and effort spent in caregiving. So I think if AI starts addressing that, I think it's the right direction to move, right? And there's really three things today in tech which is helping solve the problem, right? The first one is what we call empathetic AI. As we all know, we have all used ChatGPT at some point, or even Gemini. Now Google results come automatically with AI, right? The biggest flaw in AI is that the biggest benefit is that it's non-judgmental, but the biggest flaw also is that it cannot judge based on context. So it gives very non-judgmental answers, which is great for specialists, but it is giving you an answer without any personalization or context, right? And especially with memory care patients who have repetitive conversations, AI can get extremely repetitive, and that just triggers them, right? So it's just a never-ending cycle of repetitive question and answers. So I think grounding AI models with context and enabling them with empathy, I think is one of the biggest research topics which is ongoing. And I'm very happy here that even without giving that, even with limited empathetical context, just the fact that you can ground AI with something like a life book, a concept like life book, I think is incredible, right? And the second concept in tech, which is also taking up a lot right now, is essentially what we call trust, right? So AI, especially in India, at least in healthcare, is about accessibility, right? Why digital adoption in India and AI adoption in India is so high is because accessibility is more important to people than, say, value. For example, in the West, value could be more important, getting more insights could be more important. But in India, it's accessibility to information which is more important. And trust becomes a very important factor, especially in cases like this. I know we have people here who are leading organizations which are dedicated to certifying caregivers, making sure the most ethical practices are followed. But as tech becomes accessible to everyone, trust in what the tech is telling you becomes more and more important. And I think I worked with Shrikar in industrial setups, factory floor setups, right? Trust for shop floor operators is as important as what we are talking about patients here. And having the right tech stack, right? Like if you can integrate with, say, like Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, or you integrate with Aadhaar-based authentication, and the transparency that the life book itself is not put together by random people, it's put together by the family members, is what I think enables this trust. And I think that trust in AI is very important as we move forward. And this platform looks to be set up to move that trust. And it is very important for clinicians to support this platform, continuously give feedback so that this trust is maintained and it's being adopted. The third and the last one, which we want to touch upon, which Shrikar also touched upon and a couple of people before me talked about, is the local language support, right? So large language models still behave in a way that even if you talk to it in Tamil, it translates it to English and then tries to get the context, answer the question, translates it back. So that's how most of these models work, and unfortunately English is the language in which most of these are trained, right? So having small language models, there's a lot of evolution in this space in India right now, and there's also probably once we start training the models with clinical reports with like anonymized patient information. Maybe there is an SLM for addressing patients who have memory gaps, right? So the model itself behaves like someone with a memory gap, and it is filled by the life book. So if the model can start replicating that, it can empathize better with the patient, and so overall the system can work in a much better way. And that tech as well, Shrikar has been exploring that tech with us for some of the other, like I said, manufacturing use cases, but I think it applies well in this context as well. So I think tech is ready for what it is right now. It's just people. If clinicians, caregivers, family, and the patients who are invariably going to be involved in this can get together, tech is only going to get better. And getting this into a broad ecosystem and making sure that this is adopted will only make this more powerful. So that is just what I wanted to